Hi, my name is Sonja and I'm coming to you from Helsinki, Finland. Welcome to Kutopia, a knitting utopia. This is my second episode and thank you so much to all of you who watched the first one and gave feedback and subscribed. There is now more subscribers than my mom, my sister, and my closest friends combined. Surprise! No, really, it was really fun and exciting to publish the first episode, and I almost chickened out. I was explaining to my husband, like, maybe I'm just gonna put it onto YouTube and it's gonna be a private video, and I'm gonna send a link to my friends and get feedback, and he was having none of it. Nope, you're gonna publish it today. And thankfully I did. I'm really happy that I did. So let's get on to finished objects. I have quite a lot to show you today. Even though I ended the last episode telling you guys that I really don't have that much time to knit, I now have 6 finished objects. So, the first one. This is the Ellie cowl that I showed you in the first episode, the pilot, if you may. And I was so nervous the last time that I didn't even tell you guys how you make this cowl. It's a simple brioche cowl. The pattern Ellie Kauluri is by Marika Lepistö. She has her own YouTube channel called Koukuttajan kootut. And she published this pattern a few years back, I think. It is meant to be sort of two skein project. Lovely if you have this random hand-dyed merino skeins that you sometimes get and you don't have a plan what to do with them. This is perfect for that. My cowl is a bit narrower and shorter, I think, than the pattern means to. So this is like a half a skein project. This took a total of 95 grams of yarn. And it's meant to be worn. I'm not gonna put it on because it's really warm in here. So I'm gonna wear it like this under my jacket. And it's gonna be cute. I forgot to grab the Oslo hat that is made from this same brown yaku, but I think we can live without it. There's too much hassle as it is right now. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. The yarns that I used were Kamaros Yaku in a colorway. I have no idea. I think it's 1980 dark mustard, mörk senep. I'm just guessing. It's just really lovely. Lovely, quite orangey brown. Not my usual colors, but I like this a lot. And then the second yarn that I used is Hedgehog Fibers sock base in a potluck color. It's not here, maybe. It has these peachy and pinks and blues and whites and speckles of almost the exact same brown that the yaku is. So I think these two go together really nicely, as you can tell. Yep. And I often find that the sort of right side of two-colored brioche it's not the prettier side. Well, it looks okay on camera, but I think that this side is neater. And I like this hedgehog that much that I think I'm gonna wear this like this. I don't know. I think that yes. But anyways, I'm really happy with this, and I think this will get a lot of wear. I enjoyed knitting this. As I mentioned to you in the last episode, I really like the whole process to be enjoyable. So this ticks all the boxes. And I'm really happy with this. And since this took, I used almost all of the Yaku ball, so 50 grams. The pattern actually tells you to knit the opposite ends with the, you start with the one color and you end with another, so that you can really use whole of your skeins if you make the wider two skein one. But I wanted the both ends to have this Yaku, which I had both two balls because I thought that I wanted to make the larger one, but then I realized that this might be more practical for me. For me, I think the wider one is more like you put it on top of your jacket, or if you wear it inside, it's more of an accessory. But I really need this to be closer to my neck and keep me warm. It's not the warmest thing in the world, but I think it's good for spring and autumn once it stops snowing. We had some really lovely weather this week and last week before that. It was sunny. I bought baby some sunglasses. They're the cutest. But yeah, winter came back. And it's gonna come back like 3 more times before it's actually spring. That's Finnish weather for you. But yeah, really happy with this one. On to the next one. I'm rambling again, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I finished not one, but 2 pairs of these Not-so-fingerless-mittens. I still don't know what they're called. But yeah, I showed these ones to you last time. They're knitted out of Ilo and Suru stock yarn from Rintalantila, a Finnish organic sheep farm. And the yarn comes in 2 yardage, 2 weights. It's this is 2-ply, and then there's also a 3-ply. So this is just your mid-gray undyed 2-ply, and I thought I have everything I need here, but that's not true. Yep. Here we go. So the yarn has, let's see. So it's 2-ply, 100 grams is about 350 meters. And where are the deeds? Why can't I find them? It's 85% Finship wool and 15% polyamide. And you can wash these. You can machine wash your socks or your knits made out of this, but Well, I do, but I have felted one pair of socks. It's sort of how should I say this? I think it depends on the color or the patch sometimes, whether it felts or doesn't. So yeah, I do machine wash nearly all of my knits. I'm a bad person like that. But yeah, anyways, back to this. So the first pair, this is just very basic, nothing really going on in here. I need this with 3mm needles, double pointed needles. And when I knit these are not for me, as you can see, they're a bit big. When I knit these, it felt like the needle size was a bit too big. But since I've been working with this yarn before, I knew that it will. I learned this. I learned this term from Inga from Knitting Traditions. The yarn will bloom once you soak it. So I went on with the 3mm needle. So first you knit this basic fingerless mitten, and then I picked up stitches and knit this sort of flap. And these are quite useful. In Finnish they're called fisherman's mittens because they need to use their hands. So yes, I knit this pair first, the plain gray ones, and I'm really happy with these. And then I felt I was on a roll and wanted to knit another pair, but even though I like boring things, as I told you before, I just really have a sort of filming location that shows you my artwork. I like boring things because I do. But even I can't knit 2 pairs of plain gray mittens in a row. Well, I could, but I didn't want to. So I managed to find 6 grams of this dark brown, also undyed yarn. It's the same base, Ilo and Suru. And I just divided it into 2 tiny balls of yarn, and I pretty much used all of it. And I'm really happy with that. And I think these are cute. I'm really happy with these. So I made 5 stripes with the brown one to these, and these are made exactly the same way as the first ones, but I knitted the twisted rib in the top of the mitten a bit longer because I knew that I didn't have enough yarn to continue the stripe pattern, but I felt that if I would have continued the stockinette stitch for more than 6 rounds, it wouldn't. I didn't feel like that would be the best solution. So I think I knitted 12 rows of twisted rib maybe. And also when I picked up the stitches from the back side for the flap, I knitted 6 rows of twisted rib here, because once again I didn't have any of this brown left. So I think this breaks up the stripe pattern quite nicely, and I'm really pleased with these. And these ones I knitted with 2.75mm needles. Yes, and they're practically the same, exact same size than the gray ones. I don't think that changing the needle size mattered that much. So yeah, 2 pairs of Not-so-fingerless-mittens, and this one I gifted to my husband along with the Yaska hat that I showed you in the first episode. He had birthday, and he had actually asked me to knit these sort of mittens for him because he lost the previous ones, and he really likes to use these sort of mittens, and they're really handy, especially when you're out with the baby and you need to hustle with them constantly. So yeah, these were for my husband, and I'm pretty sure that my brother is not watching this, so I can tell you that I will give this to him. He's gonna have his birthday in a few weeks, so these are gonna go to my brother. Yeah, really happy with this, and I think I have enough gray yarn. If I were to stripe it with another yarn, I could make a 3rd pair, and I kind of want to. But yeah, let's see what we'll do. But yeah. Oh, I want to talk about the stripes for you. About these stripes. This is a stripe rhythm that I picked up from Instagram a few years back. I feel like a lot of sort of this Finnish Insta knitting community suddenly, I don't know who started it. If you know, please tell me so I can give the credit to where it belongs. But somebody just they had knitted so many pairs of socks with this stripe pattern, and they told that it's a foolproof method, and it really is. So it's 6 rows and 2 rows. So 6 2 6 2 6 2, and I think it's a really good stripe rhythm, and it works with finger weight yarn, sport weight yarn, DK weight yarn. It works in another garments as well. This is not a finished object per se. I need this for the baby. I need this in December last year, but I hadn't fastened in the buttons yet, so I did that a few days ago. But as you can see, I think this looks really nice as well. So whenever I'm knitting socks that I really don't know what to do, I have 2 colors I want to make stripes, I tend to go with 6+2 rhythm. Not always, of course. Sometimes I like to make evenly sized, same size stripes. But yeah, I really like this one, and I would really like to know who started this a few years back. But yeah, 6+2, it works. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today, but that's pretty normal. That's gonna, yeah, I'm gonna always be all over the place, just that you know. These took 56 grams of yarn in total, and these took 59 grams of yarn. Yes, lovely. And then I'm such a pattern repeater. I need not 1, but 2 Yaska hats. let's go with this one first. So this is once again a gift. I'm not gonna tell you guys to whom it is, but it is it's meant for a teenager. I know I'm taking a huge risk with knitting a hat for a teenager, but let's try. Let's hope for the best. This is knit with Sandnes Garn Dun Merino wool. So it's the thin merino wool. It's just lovely, lovely. It burns out a bit. It's a bit deeper red than the camera shows right now. It is. It's not sunny day because it's snowing, but we do have light because it's springtime already. Yeah, anyways. So the yarn color, I guess, is 4254. I originally bought this yarn to be a sweater pullover for the baby, but a piece of advice: do not buy yarn when pregnant. I bought so stupid yarn. I blame the hormones, but really, I didn't buy that much yarn last year when I was expecting, but the yarn that I did buy, it was so stupid. I bought cotton to crochet a stuffed fox toy, sort of teddy bear like, for the baby. I don't really crochet that much, so yeah, not gonna happen. I made these cloths out of them, out of those cottons. Then this yarn, this is Drops Sky, by the way. This was supposed to be this color work pullover that had a fox. Yeah, I do like foxes. A fox pattern in the front, and I don't really do that much color work either, so it was knitted from top down. And when I got to the point that you should have started the tip of the ears, I was like, no, what did I do? This is not gonna happen. Yeah, so yeah, I lied to you guys. I actually started this in June last year, and then I buried it deep in my stash and finished it in December. But I do love this one. It's too big for the baby for the time being, but I think this will be lovely come fall, and the baby goes to daycare, and they're gonna be the cutest one there. Definitely. And this took a total of 82 grams of yarn. I think this size is about year and a half, 18 months. I can't remember. It was such a long time ago. 3 months, 2 months ago. Yeah. It took a whole skein of the main color, hazelnut or something like that. No, it took more than one skein of that, and then just mere, I don't know, maybe 10 grams of this one. But it's really soft. I don't know how it will wear. I haven't used the yarn before, but maybe just we're gonna take some good pictures of the baby, and then we shall see how the yarn will wear out. Yeah, sorry. Back to the business. So I need this Jaska hat was the second size in the pattern. I told you in the last episode that Jaska hat has It has 4 different sizes, and it does. But I told you that they're all adult sizes, and they're not. The smallest size is to a 50 to 55 centimeters head. And that's not an adult size. Or then I have a really big head. Yeah, anyways, so this is the second size of the pattern, and because it is twisted rib, it venyä. Oh my god, I'm so blacking out. But you can the size alters with your head. I don't know if I can use this footage at all. Well, we shall see. So, yeah, happy with this one. Again, it's perfect to knit when you're watching TV. It really just flows off your needle. I didn't enjoy knitting this one as much as the first Jaska had, because I feel like this merino, the yarn did split a bit when I knit it. Well, I was using 2.25 millimeter Shia Goose, so they're like the sharpest thing ever. So yeah, maybe any sort of yarn will split when using those needles. But once again, I really like these decreases on the top of the head. I think this is a neat looking hat, because I remember like 10 years ago I tried to knit hats for myself, and at that time I didn't really want to use ready patterns. I wanted to figure things out myself, but I didn't want to think about figuring them out. I just tried and failed and tried and failed. And I was really struggling with the decreases on top of the hat. I felt like they were always like, they looked like this, and I didn't like that. I still have quite a lot of hats that have this sort of wrinkly decreases on top of them. But I feel like in the last few years there has been quite a lot of hats that make this top to be the actual feature in the hat. That it's really something that you pay attention to, and I like that one. I'm almost tempted to knit myself a Jaska hat, but I don't need this sort of thin hat for myself, and B, maybe I'm done with Jaska hats for the moment. Or am I? Because this one, apart from the baby, this is the cutest thing I've ever done. Look at it. It's so cute. Honestly, I can't even. So cute. So this is the third Jaska hat that I made. This is for the baby. As I told you in the last episode, I was wearing my Find Your Fate shawl, and I was contemplating using the leftover yarn from that one to make a hat, and I did, and it's perfect. I need this. I went down a size from the pattern. Pattern has 4 sizes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I would say that I knitted a size 0. I just I cast on a smaller amount of stitches than the smallest size of the pattern required, and sort of followed the pattern anyways, and it worked out quite well. I haven't soaked and blocked this yet, and I'm not going to, because right now this is the perfect size for the baby. Baby turned 7 months a few weeks back, and this is when I sort of triple fold this hem of the hat. It's a really good size for the baby right now, and then hopefully we're not gonna need this in the summertime. Fingers crossed. But then in the fall I will soak this, because this is merino. This is made out of Madeline Tosh Merino Light base, so it will grow quite a lot because it's merino when I soak it, and then I can just sort of just double fold it, and I think that it's gonna be a good sized hat for fall as well, and I don't have to need another one. We have a saying in Finland, can you call it proverb? I don't know, a saying that lazy people are creative ones. I think that's true. I think that's quite true. So yeah, I was so happy when I knit this, the whole process. I think this is perfect. It's the perfect pattern for this yarn. I hope you don't get seasick. But yeah, the colorway is called Marfa. And I'm so happy. This took a total of 48 grams of yarn. So yeah, maybe I'm not gonna knit myself a Jaska hat. I don't see that happening. But a baby-sized Jaska hat from a hand-dyed merino, I see that happening in the near future. So happy with this one. Yes, I have one more finished object to show you. This is quite a lot. I'm not sorry. I had good time knitting all of this. On we go. So here we go. I need a pair of socks. Just very simple basic sock. I didn't have any pad. I haven't woven in the ends yet in this one. All the other knits were like finished, but not this one. I didn't have time for that. But yeah, basic socks. These are knitted out of I need to check this out. Hillesvåg Sokkegarn 3. I don't know how to say 3 in Norwegian. So this is Hillesvåg's sock base called Fjell that I bought from Norway a few years back when we went to see the Lofoten Islands with my husband. And of course I had to get a souvenir yarn, Norwegian yarn for myself to remember the trip by. It was really good holiday trip. We went in, I think it was July when we went there. We spent good few days driving around, sleeping in tents, and it's such a beautiful place. Oh my god. I love North, I love Lapland, and So beautiful. So the yarn has been waiting for an inspiration since July 2019. It must be. Unfortunately, the inspiration actually never came. I was thinking about knitting some sort of cabled socks out of this, but since the yarn is, as you can see, it's marled with this light gray and off-white, I didn't feel like the stitch definition would be enough for cables, or it would be quite a lot of work to make cables that no one would see. So I ended up knitting this knit 3 purl 1 stitch pattern on top of the foot, and I carried on with it in the leg part, I think, and then I switched to knit 2 purl 2 because I want to wear this like this. There's no pattern. These are knitted from toe up. I did a Turkish cast on. I love Turkish cast on. Then I have this very lazy way of doing the increases in the toes. I don't bother with the right sort of, when you do the increases, they either turn to right or to the left. So they go nicely. I'm not gonna, nobody is gonna watch my socks that closely. So the lazy increases, and then I would call this a French heel. So it has this rounded turn, and then this is reinforced heel flap. But I don't know if that's a real term for it. But anyways, I find that this one, it has these increases in here because I have quite a high arch in my foot, so I feel I have found out that this type of heel fits my feet the best. And I knitted the foot part with 3.5mm needles, and it was kind of pain in the ass. The needles were a bit too small, so it was kind of harsh for my hands, and it was meant to be like that because I think that it will give these more durability. And then you can sort of see where I switched to 4mm needles, and then the knitting was very much more pleasurable. And yeah, so I'm gonna wear these inside the house, more sort of slippers. Yeah, I tend to wear my DK weight socks as these indoor slippers, not in shoes, because you would have to use quite a large shoes to fit your DK weight socks in them, and I will probably turn these all the way down here. I think these are lovely. I'm loving all things mauled right now. I don't know why. And I was actually thinking that I want to knit a Oslo hat for the baby, or the smallest size in the Oslo hat, so it will be good in 2 years, I think, or a couple of years. And I have enough left over of this Sandnes garn to make just a red Oslo hat. This was my original plan. But now I'm thinking that maybe I want to marl it with this yellow. Because I have a Oslo hat made out of this. So then we could be same size with the baby. I don't know. But there's no rush. because baby has enough hats already, because yeah, and so my husband and the baby will go side by side outside. Yes, I think that's quite enough of the finished objects. Let's move on to works in progress and plans. I'm really talking my ass off in here. On to the whips. I have 2 whips at the moment. The first one is the one that I mentioned, maybe starting in the previous episode, and it is the Phloem Cardigan, made by, I don't know how to pronounce this, but Justina Lorkowska. I'm so sorry. It's this cropped cardigan with this sort of shawl color, and it has pockets, very important. And it's made with a combination of 1x1 rib and then fisherman's rib, I think. And I have started. It starts with the collar, and then you pick up your, this is the wrong side. You pick up your stitches and start the raglan increases. And I am actually right now in the point where I should separate the sleeves, but I realized that I was knitting the wrong size all the time. I was supposed to knit the size L, large, because that's the biggest size in the pattern that I have enough yardage to knit. I'm playing a bit of a yarn chicken here. But instead I started the size medium, and the sleeves are not gonna be big enough. So I need to frog the whole thing and start again, which is fine. Since I told you last time that I don't do swatches or actually read the patterns, case in point, or anything like that. So I have to unravel and frog and start again quite a lot. So I have a good headspace for that, so it's fine. I'm just gonna start again. This luckily didn't take that much time to knit, and I'm really loving to yarn. So I did some Sherlock Holmes thingies, and I'm quite sure that the yarn that I'm using is from Unnaslahti, because I told you last time I bought the yarn from Jyväskylä Knitfest winter Knitfest a few years back, and I just remember that it was an outside vendor. The skeins didn't have any sort of info with them. Of course, they told me what this was, and I remember taking the business card of the vendor with me, and I took such a good care of it, just so that I can remember from where I bought this yarn. But then we moved last summer, and I lost it. I held on to it for 2 years, or 1.5 years, and then I lost it. But I'm quite sure that this is from Unnaslahti. It's 3-ply DK weight yarn. It's Finship wool, and it's actually it has, you can't see it, you're just gonna have to believe me, it has 1 strand of natural black and 2 strands of natural off-white. So it's this very subtle mold effect, or heathered maybe more, and it's just the lightest of grays, I'd say, and I'm really liking how it looks when it's knitted. So yeah, really excited about this one. And I told you guys last time that when I knit, I have this mental images, this knitting utopia of the situations or the life where I will wear the garments that I knit. And I don't get any of those vibes from this one. This is just very practical to be used in this life, in this moment. And that's okay. And I also think that it means that I have quite a good life right now. But yeah, nothing like foggy forests or anything like that in my mind when I need this. But yeah, it's really nice, and I'm really excited about this. And then another whip that I have barely started actually is a Midsummer Rose shawl by, I'm so sorry for butchering your name, but a Norwegian designer called Lene Tosti. But anyways, it's this beauty. It's from Line magazine, issue number 5. I think this came out in 2018 maybe. But yes, this beautiful huge lace shawl that will take me half an eternity to finish. But it's just something that I really want to knit. I'm not sure if I'm a lace shawl type of person. Well, for this shawl, I will be a lace shawl type of person. It's gonna be beautiful. But yeah, I've done. I think I did the chart A, and I made one repeat of the chart B in here. So yeah, early days. Let's see if I can finish this in this year. The yarn that I'm using is from Rintalantila once again. This is, I don't think they carry this yarn anymore. This was called a 1-ply shawl yarn in their web shop. I bought this also a couple of years ago. I feel like I went through some sort of yarn shopping spree a few years back, and I've been a good girl since. But anyways, it's this undyed. It was sold as a dark gray, but since it's undyed natural, it has this brown. It's warm gray, like the Pirtinkehräämö yarn that I showed you last episode, 4 weeks ago. Yes, but yeah, for the Pirtinkehräämö yarn wasn't for my Celeste, but this is for my Midsummer Rose. I really love the light gray one, like the one in the original one in the magazine, and light gray is my color. I love all things light gray, but I think for this shawl, I think this darker tone could be really nice. And this yarn, if I remember correctly, this is almost a lace weight yarn, and the pattern calls for fingering. But once again, since this is quite natural undyed yarn, it's organic, I'm very confident that it will bloom once finished and soaked and blocked. So I think that I'm using the 3.5 millimeter needles as the pattern suggests, and I think it's gonna be great. Really happy about this as well. And both of the projects that I'm working on right now are plastic free. And why is that? It's because this Finnish YouTuber knitting vlog called Luotos Designs she's hosting a muoviton maaliskuu in Finnish. It sort of rhymes. It means plastic free March. So I think that she has a more I lost the word. Anyways, I think that she applies it to the plastic free applies to more in her life than just the knitting, at least in March. I think she has talked about that on her previous episodes, but I'm really she's hosting this knit along Cal where you work with plastic free yarns, and I was really excited about that. And since I had already caked up the yarn from my Phloem cardigan, and I was going to start it soon anyways. And then I saw this opportunity to start the midsummer rose shawl that I had been dreaming about for the last 3 years. I'm a planner, not a doer. As you can tell, it takes me quite a while from an idea to an actual garment. But anyways, and then since I enjoy knitting socks, whenever in doubt, I cast on socks. So I picked up this plastic-free sock yarn from Vuonue. It's called Wilhelmi fingering weight sock yarn. Once again, it's undyed because I love that. And it uses tencel, which I think is made out of eucalyptus tree, the fiber, and that's meant to it's used instead of polyamide or nylon or any sort of plastic that you would use in sock yarns, because it's more durable than just a plain wool yarn. I'm so losing my words right now, but you know what I mean. So this uses tencel, and I know that people have been using this yarn quite a lot past year, but I really don't know how it holds up in use. But if I feel like I need to cast on something in March other than the midsummer rose shawl and the Phloem cardigan, then I will start a pair of Auni socks from this. Auni is probably the most perfect sock pattern there is. I haven't knit them yet, but just by the look of the pattern, it is so beautiful. It's perfect. It's simple but not plain. It's a pattern by Nupu Nupu, a Finnish YouTuber / knitwear designer, and it's available in DK and in fingering versions, and I'm gonna knit fingering ones for myself, and I think it's gonna be another Rose City Rollers for me. So if I enjoy knitting these as much as I think I will be making a lot of these. Here's hoping. But yeah, plastic free March in here. I'm quite excited about that. I did enjoy knitting those merino wool Jaska hats. Of course, merino it's so soft and the colors are so vibrant and almost alive when you knit with hand-dyed merino. But it's not, I don't think it's as warm as more natural wools. But yeah, there's I think you use them in different purposes, and I don't mind working with merino yarn every now and then. Although superwashing is something that I'm not super excited about, but I can live with that every now and then. Every now and then, not then. Okay, we have gone through the FOs. I have talked to you about my whips and some possible plans, and then I'd like to tell you something that is not at all knitting related. Oh, it might be. The reason that I had so much time to knit these past 2 or 3 weeks was that I hurt my back right after Valentine's Day, because the baby learned to crawl on Valentine's Day, and 2 days after that I hurt my back, and I really couldn't do anything but walk short distances and lie on the floor on a hard surface and do some light stretching. It's something that happens to me every now and then. I have a bad back, and it comes and goes. This was the first time that it happened with the baby, and it was a struggle. I think it was Wednesday when I hurt my back. My husband he's been working from home ever since COVID started, so for a year now. And that day was the first day in a year that he was visiting the office. And I had to call him and tell him, yeah, I can't really lift the baby. You have to come back home right now. So yes, the husband took care of the baby, took care of me, and took care of his work for 2 days, Thursday and Friday. Not all heroes wear capes. I don't know how he did that. All I could do was to try to play with the baby, be with the baby when I was lying on the floor. But since the baby had just learned to crawl, there wasn't much I could do. But somehow we managed, and when I say we, I say he, my husband. He managed. I don't know how. And then came the weekend, and still I couldn't lift the baby. That was the problem. I couldn't lift the baby or hold the baby in my arms. So husband did everything, but luckily he didn't have to work. And then I think he took the Monday off from work, yes, and I went to see a doctor. And then for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, my little brother came and helped us, and it was we couldn't have done it without his help for that week. And by Friday and Saturday I was well enough to take care of my baby. It was really heartbreaking not to be able to take care of your own baby. But yes, we managed somehow. My neighbor, when I informed my neighbor that I was in pain, they bought us a bottle of red wine and some chocolate on Friday night. And that was lovely. And in the Monday morning, they have this, we call it a space station, this huge sort of toy thingy where you can just put your baby in, and there are all of these plastic toys that they can play around. So it entertains the baby and frees your hands, and it was a lifesaver. So yeah, the best kind of neighbors are the ones that make you cry repeatedly. You heard it here first. But yeah, with help from the other people, other close to us, we somehow managed. We survived. We survived. And it's all good now. My back's back to normal. I think I'm 95% all well again. But yeah, I had a lot of time to knit small things. I couldn't start a Phloem cardigan when my back was aching, because I was lying down with my feet up. So you can only knit like maybe Jaska hats or Not-so-fingerless-mittens while in that position. And then I watched a lot of YouTube. I found and binged the whole of the Woolly Mammoth Fiber Company, Emma, her channel, her vlog, and I loved it. I have to get some of her yarn at some point. It's so beautiful, and I love that she uses natural dyes. I've tried. I've done some dyeing with natural materials a few times, and it's love. Oh, I love it. So yeah, and I really, it was so I got so inspired by Emma's lifestyle, sort of this slow or intentional living that I feel that she's trying to, or not trying to, but she is living. It was so inspiring. And actually, she went through year or year and a half without buying any clothes. And that's what I'm gonna do. Starting from March 1st, 2020, I'm not gonna buy clothes for myself, not new or secondhand. Most of my clothes are secondhand or made by me. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything until June 20th, 2022. So it's about 1 year and 3 months, 15 months of not shopping anything. I give myself 4 free passes. Can you call them that? Why 4? Because I felt like 3 is too little and 5 is too much. I really have no explanation, but I'm quite sure that I need to buy some new swimwear for myself for next summer, because I'm hoping that once I go back to work, I'll start my mornings with some swimming in the ocean, and then I come back home and start the workday. So that's already a one purchase in my mind. But yeah, because I own a lot of clothes. I think we all own, almost all of us own a lot of clothes. So whenever I say that I need something, I need a black cardigan. No, I don't. To need some piece of clothing, it means that without it I'm going naked, and that's not the case. When I say I need a black cardigan, it means that it will go well with the clothing that I already have, and I feel that my outfits are missing something without it, but I really don't need it. No, I don't need any clothes except for swimwear, because I don't think that my swimwear... Do I even have any? I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna need, probably, I'm gonna need some sort of swimwear for me. But yeah, and I don't know if you guys are interested in this at all, but I'm telling you this because now I'm answering to you if I go and purchase something. I love secondhand shopping and vintage shopping. We have good secondhand stores here in Finland and in Helsinki particularly. But that's also dangerous to go this marvelous vintage shop and buy yet another beautiful dress that you don't really need. So yeah, I'm allowing myself 4 garments in the next 15 months. So if the COVID allows and my friends come to visit and we go secondhand shopping, I am able to look around and see if I find some perfect skirts or dresses or jackets, because those 3 are the ones that I usually go for in secondhand shops. But yeah, really, I don't need anything right now. I am allowed to make clothes more for myself. I don't want to not knit for myself, and I don't really sew. I don't own a sewing machine. I've been thinking about getting a sewing machine because I want to be able to mend babies' clothes when they start to break them. I think especially the knees are the ones that wear out in children's clothing. So if I want to learn to sew my own clothes, I am allowed to. I don't see that happening necessarily. But yes, if I want to, I'm allowed to sew myself some clothes. I'm allowed to knit myself clothes. Of course, I'm allowed to mend the things that I already own. And yeah, that's that. I hope you wish me luck, because I do need that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say this time around. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you next time. Stay safe. Bye.